You made bad choices, and you acknowledge that, and I appreciate that. So the reality is that this is a hugely difficult circumstance, which is very polarizing for especially a small community like this. I've been driving through and about this community my whole life in a variety of different ways. And my parents are from Bear Lake County, and that's the same kind of a county. And these are difficult situations in these kinds of counties and these kinds of communities. And so I feel great sorrow. And I'll make one final comment before I impose the sentence, and that is, I hope today is kind of the end of it. It's something to that effect. I wish that were true. I wish that were true. It's not true. They're still suffering in Blackfoot. And I sentenced that guy 2 years ago. They're still suffering in this community and will for a while. He's right when he says his son will take years to go through the process of dealing with this and understanding it. He's way too young to understand it fully now. And it'll impact you and your family for a lengthy period of time. Healing is often a long and difficult process for everybody. And it will be for you, and it will be for them. And I'm hugely sorry about that, but I didn't earn every one of these gray hairs on my head or white hairs on my head for nothing. I've only been in the law for 47 years. I've seen everything that can happen in the law. And I've seen all the tragedy and the aftermath of the tragedy and how difficult that is for people to process. And the most thrilling thing I heard today was him saying, he forgives you. Forgiveness is an interesting thing. I've studied that topic quite a bit, actually. And forgiveness is not for you. It's for them. That's the people who forgive. They receive the benefit of it. The person who they're forgiving hardly gets any benefit out of it at all. But you may need to do some forgiving as well, and I hope you will as time goes on. It's not going to be easy, but you can do this, and you will get some treatment, and you need some treatment. The psychosexual is interesting because I've read these things many times over the years. There's no standards for women. There are lots of standards for men because we have lots of men sex offenders. There's no standards for women. It's hard to figure out, even for one of the best in the business when it comes to these things. It's hard to know. And then she made a specific comment, which I don't see very often. You need some treatment with somebody who has experience dealing with women sex offenders. There aren't very many people like that. So I hope that you get that kind of treatment in your life, because that'll be the rehabilitation part of what you need. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions from me before I impose a sentence?
No, I don't think so, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm imposing a sentence of 2 fixed and 18 indeterminate imposed. The defendant will go into custody today. The costs are $540.50. The fine is $500. There'll be a DNA sample that'll have to be supplied to the Department of Corrections. There's a $100 cost for that. You will be required to register as a sex offender if you ever get out into the community on parole. And you will be required as a condition of treatment in prison and on parole when that time comes to submit to and comply with and successfully complete any necessary sex offender treatment as required by the prison system or ultimately your parole officer. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there any restitution sought here?
There's no restitution, Your Honor.
No, okay. Sometimes there's counseling and things like that. You don't have anything to submit.
No.
Very well. All right, so no restitution. Let me take that out. And so that's the sentence. Do you have any questions about the sentence
No, Your Honor.
from the state?
No, Your Honor.
And you have 42 days to appeal this sentence. Oh, no, you don't have 42 days to appeal the sentence because in the plea agreement, you waived an appeal. That's right. So there's no appeal here. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor. 42
days are gone. All right? End today. Any questions from anybody?
None, Your Honor.
The no contact order.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I sometimes forget that. Thank you. Yes, there is a no contact order in place that prevents contact with the victim. And I don't remember if it goes to the victim's family as well, does it?
Just list the victim.
Just the victim. That no contact order, it's not often you get to do this, but normally no contact order lasts a year, and then you have to renew it. In this case, the no contact order is for 20 years. No contact of any kind, electronic, personal, by phone, in any way, shape, or form, through social media. No contact means no contact. And I'm very strict about that, okay? With the victim of any kind for the entire 20 years. Anything else? Thank you for that reminder. Anything else? No, all right.
That sentence on each count.
It's on each count, run concurrent. Thank you. Yes. There's 2 counts. I'd forgotten that. So there are 2 counts, the same count, but the sentence is imposed on each count, but they are run concurrent to each other. So not one after the other. They run on top of each other. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Deputy, you can take the defendant into custody. And we
or is in the courtroom. My understanding is the jury has reached a verdict. So let's bring the jury in. Hold up before you do. Let me just say this before the jury comes in. For the people that are in the audience, I'm going to ask that you show no emotion, regardless of what the verdict is. If you don't think you can control your emotions, I'm going to ask you to step outside, and then somebody can go outside and tell you the verdict. Also, if you do not heed to these instructions, then you could be held in contempt and face up to 6 months in the county jail. So if you do not believe you can control your emotions, then I'm going to go ahead and ask you to leave the courtroom at this time.